All right, and welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to talk about the compound effect. If you haven't read Hardy's book, The Compound Effect, I highly recommend you get a copy. You can get a free copy by going to this link that's on the bottom of the image here. But Darren describes the process of the compound effect as a consistent application of constant improvements, which is exactly what we've been describing throughout this class so far. We've looked at improving a number of aspects of your business, and we're going to see exactly how this applies to this lecture. So let's get into the compound effect in action. And so far, we've talked about increasing leads. We've talked about increasing your conversion rate, increasing your transaction frequency, increasing prices, decreasing your cost of goods sold, and decreasing your overheads and expenses. And what we'll find is that these aren't just additive in nature as far as the improvement, they are multiplicative in nature. And when we start looking at the example of the simple spreadsheet as used, as you should be using right now, you should be seeing results already. But if you haven't, that's okay. I'm going to show you some potential right now that is going to probably make you think, wow, I could easily do that. I could easily make a big difference and switch from where we're at to increasing the number of customers, increasing your revenue, decreasing your costs, increasing your profitability, and ultimately increasing the value of your business should you choose to exit anytime soon. So let's take a look at some of those things. So I've zoomed into the spreadsheet here, and we have a couple rows already populated. Just as an example, we're going to use these to compare and contrast exactly what we're talking about here. And we're going to look at a couple things. Estimated valuation is this column right over here to the left, column D. And this column is based on the formula right here. It's 2.5 times 52 times your weekly revenue. Since we're using weeks in revenue, you could change this to months or whatever is appropriate for the number and frequency of your data collection, plus inventory, plus FF&E. We've left off, of course, real estate, vehicles, and other securities. You can add those in if you so choose. But this is just an idea of the value of your business based on cash flow, not necessarily based on anything else. And it's not a broker's estimate of value. It is just a ballpark figure that you can use to calculate a relative value for your business. But the very first thing that we talked about in the class so far was improving our leads. And if we look at this estimate, say we have 1,000 leads today, what would a 10% improvement look like? If we were to be able to increase the number of leads that we have today by using the strategies we talked about earlier by 10%, that would mean we would increase to 1,100 leads per month. Well, 1,100 leads per month results in a revenue difference between 1950 and 21,450, almost a $2,000 bump in revenue. But let's look over here. That's that's over a $200,000 increase in our estimated valuation. Well, remember, this is based on 52 weeks of revenue at this level, and this may or may not be appropriate to your business. Please put your numbers in here. This is just my example. Okay, so if we were to improve leads by just 10%, that's going to increase the valuation $200,000. Crazy, right? Well, let's go a little bit further. And if we were to change or improve our conversion rate from 33% by 10% to 33%, what happens? Our revenue jumped from 21,000 to 23,500. and our valuation went from 2.5 million to $3 million, because this is multiplicative. We now have 10% more leads coming through, and we've gotten better at converting them. Now, what if we were to increase the number of transactions per period? For example, using a loyalty program, we got our customers come in more than once a week. You're running a coffee shop, for example, and people love to have their coffee. It's a great product. If you provide a great experience, which is the principle that Starbucks ran on to become so successful, it created a great experience for customers. They have been able to continue to get customers come back over and over and over again, high frequency transactions, even by 10%. Let's increase this number to 1.1. That's increasing by 10%. Again, our revenue has now grown from $19,000 to $25,954. Our valuation has jumped from 2.5 to $3.3 million. Minor adjustments. If we were to increase, and we talked about this at the very beginning of this section, increasing our prices versus, and later we talked about reducing our costs, so I'll go in the same order. Let's increase our price on this. The way we calculated it before is we thought we wanted a 30% markup over our cost. Our cost is $50. A 30% markup is not $15, resulting in $65 total price, but it's actually $71.43, as we discussed. If we truly want to get 30% back out of the equation, right? So I'm going to mark this at $71.43. Again, all the right numbers start changing. We see our gross revenue increase to $28,522. That is a huge improvement. That's a 46% improvement over where we started. Okay, that's a $9,000 improvement. If we look at our total valuation, it has gone up 46%. That's 1.172 million more than where it was when we started. But we're not done yet. What if we could reduce the cost of goods sold by 10%? Because you're a shrewd negotiator. You've got better pricing on your products and you on your raw materials. You found cheaper labor. You found a better way, alternate materials, something to reduce your cost by 10%. Let's change this down to $45 per unit. That'd be a 10% savings. Again, we see a massive jump, not in our revenue, but we see a massive drop, in our cost of goods sold. Now, wait a minute. It looks like it increased. Yes, it increased, but it increased because we've increased the number of leads and the number of conversions and the number of transactions. So this going up only means, and I can prove that. Let's back these numbers out. Let's change one thing at a time. Back to 30% and back to one transaction per. And the only thing that we've changed so far is our average price and our average cost. We see that our revenue has gone to $21,000 just based on the price point alone, and our costs have gone down from $15,000 to $13,500. This is the trend that we want. But because we already adjusted our leads by 10%, our conversion rate by 10%, and our number of transactions by 10%, it appears that our costs have gone up, but that's only because we're actually selling way more product or services. Okay. Now, let's say we have expenses. I don't have expenses in here, so let's say it's $10,000 per month. From our gross profit, excuse me, let's call it $2,500. Add those in. That's actually going to decrease our valuation just a little bit, but that's okay. The impact will be realized here very soon. So if we reduce those costs from $2,500 to $2,250, we see almost an 11% improvement in those costs, and our net profit increases. Our net profit increases over here to the right, based on all these changes from 2,000 to 8,300. That is a increase of $6,300 in net profit. Our net profit has grown 315% just by making a few tweaks to each of these categories. This, my friends, is huge. And this is a small and achievable result based on my experience with this so far. And as you get better at finding ways to optimize each of these categories, this is working on your business, not in it. You will start to see results like this, and you will achieve the growth and financial independence that you're looking for much quicker than what you previously had thought possible. Now, I want you to put your numbers into this spreadsheet. I want you to create an experiment and find out what it would do for you if you increased your leads by 10%, if you increased your conversion rate by 10%, if you increased your number of transactions by 10%, if you increased your or decreased your cost of goods sold by 10%, if you increased your price by 10%, how would these impact your business? Now go back and do it again with a 20% improvement and see the impact. And you will find tremendous and almost unbelievable growth. But I assure you, this is within your reach. You can do this type of growth, and it will help you get to the point where you can exit your business faster and for more money than doing nothing. Guaranteed. All right. So let's go back to the slides. So for homework, I want you to read or listen to The Compound Effect on Audible by Darren Hardy. And then I want you to evaluate the compound effect on your business using the Simple Spreadsheet. Plug your numbers in if you haven't already been doing so, and plug in some what ifs. Find what is possible using some modest improvements and start tracking your data every single week. It is critical to your success to use data-driven decisions to grow your business. And these things, I'm telling you, are going to be extremely powerful for you. And if you need any help whatsoever, just send me an email at robert@robertgreenmba.com, and I will help you. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class.